Yau Yau raised a rebellion last year with support from its Murle ethnic group after losing local elections in 2010. In Pibor, the biggest town near the offensive, gunfire from J3 soldiers is almost routine. Several times a week, the few civilians at the market who have not already fled into the bush have to abandon their stalls to seek protection at the nearby US base. Human rights groups say the army has a record of torturing and raping civilians from the Murle ethnic group. There are concerns civilians could be mistreated during the operation against Yau Yau, who claim to represent Murle interests but have limited local support.
My concern towards the civilians is that the civilians should be separated from Yau Yau. As a commissioner, I talked with the army and told them their duty is to find Yau Yau only.
A year and a half after South Sudan split away from Sudan, the government is struggling to assert control over vast remote territory bristling with guns from the 1983 to 2005 war. Since independence, well over 1,000 people have been killed in deadly blood feuds triggered by cattle raids between the Murle and Low Nuer ethnic groups.
The big fear is always civilian casualties and anything that could happen to civilians who get caught in the crossfire or who are considered allied with David Yau Yau when in fact they may have weapons for their own self-protection or for other reasons that have to do with their protecting their cattle and are not actually affiliated with any rebel militia groups. So I just want them to be to take extreme care not to disarm one side without disarming another side and make sure that civilians are really protected.
In recent weeks, local Murle leaders have attempted to bring Yau Yau in for peace talks without success. Officials say Yau Yau's forces are responsible for the killing of over 100 Low Nuer last month, an attack which many observers expect to be repaid in the coming weeks. Most of the civilians from Pibor have already fled to the bush, fearful of violence from the army, Yau Yau's forces and the Low Nuer militia.
There are two big problems. When Yau Yau fights with the SPLA and also when SPLA says you are the ethnic group of Yau Yau, we're stuck in the middle. These are the biggest problems even if there are rumors of the Low Nuer army coming.
Yau Yau started his rebellion in 2010 after losing local elections. He briefly accepted a government amnesty in 2011 but returned to the bush in July last year.
I don't know who will be defeated, but I know there are many soldiers on both sides who are going to fight. I don't know who will be defeated.
Kuberin says Yau Yau is fighting for Jonglei state to be divided into two, thus giving the Murle more power at the national level. He expects the army counter-insurgency to cause many casualties. South Sudan's Murle population face a trinity of threats as the central government attempts to assert their control over the young African nation. The offensive might crush a symptom of the grievances in Jonglei, but the underlying causes of the Murle's neglect and ostracization would need to be tackled before peace arrives.